Welcome to Elvis Fans Matter. Go ahead, you can say it too. I'll let you.
Oh, welcome to Elvis Fans Matter.
What we're going to talk about is talk about some things that Elvis did with Lisa, and we did with Lisa and all, and just fond memories of her and all. And she was quite a
Character.
little girl. She was funny in a whole lot of ways, and she was a lot like her daddy and
She was.
her mama. And even though we hadn't seen them for years, we still care about them deeply. And just wanted to relay a couple little old stories here.
We knew her as a little girl.
As a little girl, yeah.
I guess the last time we saw her, she was probably about 13,
Mm-hmm.
12 or 13.
And that was at Grace.
Mm-hmm. At Graceland.
When they opened it up and all. But anyway, one funny story that tickled me, and I'll get into it first, is she had, at Graceland, she had pulled a tooth. And boy, she was just, tickled. She run in there and she was telling her daddy, Daddy, I pulled a tooth. And he said, oh, that's good. They said, that is good. He said, let Daddy see. Oh, yeah, you got a little gap there, but they're going to come back. It'll come back better. And he was, telling her all that. And he said, oh, she said, I can't wait. She said, I'm going to put it under my pillow, and the tooth fairy always leaves me something. And so he said, well, do that. So she went to bed that night, and Elvis went in there and got the tooth out from under there and put a $10 bill or something on it. Exactly, it was,
A large amount.
Yeah, large amount. So she got up next day, boy, and she waited till finally Elvis woke up, and it was that afternoon. She said, Daddy, will you take me to the store? The tooth fairy has left me $5 or $10, whatever it was. And he said, oh, really? He said, that's good, baby. Maybe in a little while, but let Daddy get awake and all that. And so she called her mama. And she said, Mama, guess what the tooth fairy left me? She said, what? And she told her the amount, and Priscilla said, And she said, well, look, let me talk to your daddy and all that, and I'll tell him, that the tooth fairy come to visit you, and he comes to visit you out here if you pull a tooth. So I don't know what all they said after that, but anyway, I hung up the phone, and that afternoon she got a call from Priscilla, Elvis did, and he answered, and she was telling him, she said, they talked for a minute, and then she told Elvis, she said, look, she said, now you're spoiling her. I usually give her a quarter or 50 cents, something like that for pulling a tooth from the tooth fairy. And, you're spoiling her like that. I'd rather you didn't do that. And kind of teed Elvis off. And he said, look, let me tell you something. He said, I don't know the damn going rate for a tooth fairy. He said, you give her what you want to, and I'll give her what I want to. And that's the way it is. And so
that's what he told us about it.
But he had to tell everybody about it, told me about it, and all. I found it funny. I don't know the damn going rate of a tooth fairy. And so, but anyway.
When you think about it.
That's funny. I mean, but he was. That's what
he could come up with some good ones, yeah.
Yeah, he was outside and later, you know, it's not the same time, but later, and she had a flat on her golf cart. Well, she come with me and Elvis. We were standing outside, and I think Al, maybe a couple other guys, we was out on the little balcony outside next to the den, and he was
Sidewalk
just
out
looking
there.
around, and he's saying, you know, he said, "It's a pretty day." He said, we might do some riding a little later, and all." And about that time, Lisa come running up there, and she said, Daddy, said, "Will you fix my golf cart? It's got a flat on it." And he said, "Wait a minute," because he was telling something, and anyway, he started telling again. She jerked on him like that, and she said, Daddy, will you fix my golf cart? Because we want to ride again." And he said, "Look, Lisa," he said, "Daddy's telling something." He said, "Daddy's rich." And I don't do things like that. I hire people to do it for it. Go out there and tell Earl and Mike to fix your golf cart. And they will. So he sent her out there to them. But he could come up with some stuff, boy.
He was more like a kid when it came to stuff like that.
Daddy's rich. I don't do things like that.
I don't do things like that.
But there was just so many funny stories. And go ahead.
Well, you know, like when she said that was out, may have been about the same time, but she said, does everybody know me? And he said, what do you mean? And she said, well, you know, like all over the world. And he said, well, everybody knows Daddy. And a lot of people know you because of Daddy.
Because she was saying, you know, because all the people down there, they'll holler, Lisa, how did they, you know,
how did they know
name?
my
She said,
name?
everybody know me, and that's how he got into it. He said, well, everybody knows me.
He was funny.
But she was a character in herself, and she couldn't help, but she loved them golf carts.
She did.
Loved them.
She loved them.
So she'd have Danny and Joey and
Rory
Laura Miller, and all them.
Amber.
She had to have a little group with her, and
Yeah.
just like Elvis when he'd go riding.
She loved to play. She loved having kids around and playing.
Playing. So, you know, but
Danny and Joey and Rory would usually bribe her to, if you don't get Lottie to make us a hamburger and
they called them Lottie burgers.
they called them Lottie burgers because Lottie was a great cook. If you don't have her to make us a Lottie burger, we're going home. okay, we'll do it. I'll get her to
get us a Pepsi.
Yeah, get us a Pepsi. Lisa, go get us a Pepsi, or we're going to go home. She should have said, "Well, go on home." But
she could have broke that party up quick.
She could have broke that up quick,
but she wouldn't. She
wanted to play. She used to circle our trailer when she got up, and saying little things, nerd, and something that rhymed with that. She'd say it and call out to them to get up, come on, and she'd circle on the golf cart till they got up and got ready and went out.
Yeah, if they didn't, she'd come up to the
door
and she'd be knocking, you know, and she'd come out to our house.
Throw and hit the window where they.
She'd come out to our house quite a few times.
Yeah,
you know.
she did. She liked to get up in that tree house. They had a big tree house out in one of those big old oak trees that was right by our trailer, and she loved to get up in that tree house and play.
But there's a lot more stories that we'll tell about Lisa as we go along. But for right now, I guess we'll let this one end, and just remember that Elvis fans matter.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching.